Procrastination.
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 Procrastination. We all struggle with it. We procrastinate even though we know it is bad for us, but still we procrastinate. Some of us even don't realize that we are procrastinating. Many people mistakenly believe that procrastination is a state of laziness, but actually they are totally different pieces of puzzle. Laziness is a state characterized by lack of energy, apathy, or reluctance to engage in any activity. On the other hand, procrastination is a state of process. It is about doing something else instead of the task that should be done. For example, you may have the motivation to work, but when you sit to start, you encounter a resistance that urges you to postpone it. Days pass and you have accomplished nothing. You start feeling regret that you are lazy, you are not disciplined. Recent research indicates that approximately 20% of adults are chronic procrastinators. As I dived deep into the psychology of procrastination, I uncovered some fascinating insights. It turns out that procrastination is 80% linked to neuroscience and neurobiology, like why we procrastinate and how to break this habit of procrastination. Our brain has two systems to manage our thoughts and emotions: prefrontal cortex system and a limbic system. Prefrontal cortex system is responsible for regulating our thoughts and emotions, like decision making and impulse control for long-term goals. It plays a key role in overcoming the habit of procrastination. On the other hand, our limbic system is responsible for our behavioral change to our emotional response, especially for short-term survival. It releases the adrenaline and cortisol to trigger fight and flight response. For example, back in time, our limbic system responded to our survival when we saw a threat and we covered for cover. But in today's world, there is a constant battle between prefrontal cortex system and a limbic system. And from the studies, it turns out that procrastination is actually an emotional issue. In today's world, most of our tasks evoke negative emotions like fear of failure, self-doubt, that you are not compatible, or you are not good enough, or you feel you are far behind other people. These negative emotions actually drive procrastination. For example, you might have an idea to start a YouTube channel, but you are procrastinating because you feel you are not better than other people. So you never come to the conclusion of starting a YouTube channel. These negative emotions continually release adrenaline and cortisol, weakening your prefrontal cortex system, often at the expense of short-term survival. So is procrastination really that bad? Certainly it is bad, but some studies have highlighted its advantages, like there are two types of procrastination: active or productive procrastination, passive or avoidant procrastination. Active procrastination is when we delay tasks intentionally to improve our performance. For example, someone might delay their task right before the deadline because doing so helps them perform better. It can be a healthy form of procrastination. On the other hand, passive procrastination is when we delay tasks to the point of missing deadlines. As tasks start to accumulate, your stress starts to arise, which makes you procrastinate further and you get trapped in the never-ending cycle of procrastination. It is an unhealthy type of procrastination, and it is essential to identify which type of procrastination you lean toward. Passive procrastination is very chronic to your health, productivity, and happiness. Procrastination has a deep link with the mental health. It weakens your cognitive abilities to think and focus. You might start feeling stress and anxiety, which is bad for your well-being. So what are the symptoms of procrastination? To identify when to take action to overcome it. It could be fear of failure, self-doubt, uncertain goals, difficulty establishing focus, perfectionism, choosing short-term reward like dopamine-engaging activities, lack of motivation, or feeling of regret. If you have these symptoms, then you are a passive procrastinator and you need to take action. So how to break this habit of procrastination and overcome it with ease? There are a handful of neuroplasticity techniques that can be beneficial to overcome the habit of procrastination. Likewise, procrastination is a culmination of bad habit formation, and to overcome it, you first need to address the root cause. The first technique is about recognizing your fear of failure. Identify whether your procrastination is rooted in fear and insecurity. Is it anxiety or apprehension about meeting others' expectations, or is it purely negative emotions? So by understanding the fear obstacle, you can easily beat procrastination. The second technique is about understanding that doing is better than perfectionism. Procrastinators often get stuck because they aim for perfection. They spend countless hours thinking and planning, but they never take the plunge. For example, an aspiring author might spend years meticulously planning every detail of their novel, but they fear that they are not good enough or they might make mistakes. They think too deep about getting started on their novel that their thinking becomes their fear, and they trap in the cycle of procrastination. On the other hand, another writer might start with a rough draft, knowing that it won't be perfect. But when they sit and commit to start, even if they don't know what to write, just sitting and staring at an empty draft evokes their curiosity. You do not need to write 1,000, 2,000 words. Just writing 2 or 3 words is enough for you to beat procrastination. So whenever you experience this kind of situation, remember that perfectionism comes with doing. Just getting started on something and keep doing it is the key to beat procrastination, and keep appreciating that you are doing your best. The third technique is prioritizing hard tasks early in the day. Studies have have shown that our cognitive abilities and energy levels typically at a peak during the first few hours of the morning, also known as morning peak hours. Research by Roger B. Shaffer suggests that our performance can be up to 20% during this period. However, some individuals might have variations in their cognitive performance peak times. For example, for some people it might be a night, and for some people it might be a morning. So as you implement this strategy, take time to understand and identify when you are personally feel more alert and productive. Fourth technique is discipline yourself to work on inputs rather than outcomes. Most people obsess over outcomes that they cannot actually control, rather than focusing on inputs that they can control. For example, you started a YouTube channel and you have posted a few videos, but you are not getting any views or impressions. So you start losing hope and keep making videos. Instead of worrying about outcomes, you should focus on keep making videos. Like, I know I cannot control my videos how they can perform, but what I can control is making 2 or 3 videos every week. By making these changes, you become a professional rather than an amateur. Amateur is someone who is driven by mood, motivation, and outcomes. They set unrealistic goals. They are not 100% committed and consistent with their work. They are focused on their status. They have fixed mindset. On the other hand, professional is someone who takes pride in doing rather than obsessing over outcomes. They are goals focused and committed to perform no matter what are the circumstances. They have growth mindset. The fifth technique is breaking the task into small pieces or chunks. Research by Bluma Zagnark in the 1920s revealed that people tend to remember uncompleted and interrupted tasks more than completed ones, also known as Zagnark effect. This phenomenon suggests that when we break the task into small pieces, it becomes memorable for our brain to understand and create a sense of urgency to complete it. Consider a daunting task like a 10-page research paper. What you will initially do is you will start thinking about what to write, where to write, and how to finish it. Instead, what you should do is break it down completely into subtasks. Break it down like this. Start with select the topic as your first subtask. Then gather some research on that topic as your second subtask. Next, create an outline followed by writing an introduction, and so on until you have a list of bite-sized tasks. By doing this, you can transform intimidating projects into a series of achievable results. In conclusion, procrastination is not merely a manifestation of laziness. It is a complex interplay of emotions and brain function. Recognize the signs of passive procrastination. Take action using these neuroscience-based techniques. That is it for this video. Like and subscribe if you find this video helpful, and I will see you in the next video.